What happens when two successful companies are supposed to be partners but completely misunderstand each other's businesses? In this story, my client and their partner had been bogged down for months in a negotiation, unable to reach a deal, but strangely unable to figure out why they couldn't reach a deal. The two companies had worked together to create a product which solves a difficult and high-value problem in a really innovative way. It was an impressive solution which saves customers time, money, and hassle. They were nearing launch day and the clock was ticking. They couldn't agree how costs and revenue would be split between them. It was not a small disagreement. They were nowhere near a deal. Now, this was not the problem I'd been asked to solve. I was there to develop the pricing structure for the new product. But I'd interviewed people from both companies, and after a few calls, I realized something was seriously wrong. Each company had brilliant leaders and employees, but they had misunderstood how the other side's business worked, and especially the unit economics. Unit economics are the numbers which explain how a company makes money or loses money on every transaction. Each company had made unstated but mistaken assumptions about the other company's costs and how much revenue and profit they generate from their work. It was like two partners with different skills trying to build a lemonade stand together, where each was absolutely convinced they knew the economics, but neither actually did. One confidently quoted lemon prices and profit margins that were wildly off, while the other insisted they knew exactly what the labor would cost and how much work was required, yet their numbers were fantasy. The difficult part wasn't their ignorance of each other's businesses, it was their belief that they already understood them. Of course, as this was supposed to be a pricing project, the one thing which everyone could agree on was that nobody knew how much the customers would be willing to pay for a glass of ice-cold lemonade. I intervened and wrote two documents which first clarified the actual unit economics for each side, and second walked through the incentives and motivations of stakeholders to close the deal. Afterwards, the companies quickly signed an agreement, and I was thrilled when the client asked me to accept a bonus for helping to get it done. There was a happy ending to that story, but there is also a bigger picture here. Understanding a business's real unit economics is important for creating or improving your product's pricing structure. Companies might have a tight grip on how their own business works, but less so on how their customers' businesses work. Yet this insight is golden because customer willingness to pay is based on how much value they believe your product will deliver. One of the most dangerous things in pricing isn't ignorance, it's the illusion of knowledge. When you think you know something but you're wrong, you make decisions based on false assumptions. And in pricing, those decisions can cost a fortune. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to connect with me directly to discuss your pricing challenges or just to learn more about pricing strategy, please go to my website at robinlandy.com.